Tonight we cross over into Illinois, Carmi, a city rich in history and spirit, where family values and the welfare of children seem to me more like ways of life than political issues. Tonight we hear from them, the stories behind the viewpoints, the voice of the voter. When you hear Loretta Van Gampler talk about history, it seems to just come alive. History is one of her many passions as a member of the White County Historical Society.
Well, I want to welcome you to the Mary Jane Stewart House.
This upcoming election has many voters, like Van Gampler, rethinking the direction our nation is going. For her, fixing the problems ailing our country will start inside the home.
I think parents, their job is to raise their children. I don't think the government should, and I don't think your neighbor should raise your children unless it's a necessity, because nowadays a lot of parents, both families, both have to work to make a living.
A mother of 3 with 5 grandchildren, Van Gampler says our nation's future will depend on the younger generation in years to come. And she worries about the mess she says we stand to pass on to them unless something changes soon.
A lot of the children, if they don't think high school's important, they maybe don't think college and training is important, but it really is. They need that. And so I think the family, nucleus of the family and education is 2 things that we're kind of lacking on a little bit.
Kurt Hale is a newer father of 2. He says fatherhood has forced him to care more about issues that maybe he wouldn't have just a few years ago.
Definitely important to teach our younger generation the value of hard work, I think, in our country, and how a positive attitude, working attitude can definitely lead you a long way in life.
He says he wants to see more fiscal responsibility in government, especially for future generations, like his own kids.
What are we teaching our children if we can't teach them to live within our means? And I think that goes right along with the hard-working aspect that I was talking about.
Many seem to relate family values to an opinion on gay marriage, but keeping marriage between one man and one woman isn't what Van Gampler says she's talking about when she calls for stronger families.
They are people and they have rights just like anyone else, but whether I agree with it, that's their reasoning. And whether it is right, I don't know. I think the future will tell.
Today we met 2 parents from 2 very different walks of life, but who share at least one commonality: love for their children and hope for a better tomorrow. On our Voice of the Voter tour in White County, David Shepard, Eyewitness News, your local election headquarters.